Hello everybody at the Schwantz27 channel, it's DJ Vaughn on the Wicked Ones and Twos, here to talk to you about our latest updates to Black Ops 4, both released Tuesday and Thursday of this week, so we've been extra busy in our delivery of mostly useless in terms of content patches. Earlier this week, the 1.12 update was released that finally brings the Barbarian special event to both the VCR and PC platforms that was available to the PS4 last week because Sony and Activision are both spelt with $signs. Speaking of which, available now on the superior platform on the sole basis of monetary compensation. For zombies, there is a new gauntlet on 9 called Vini Vidi Zombie, which is Latin for I came, I saw, I ran around in circles at just out of arm's reach for hours on end. There's also a new limited time Blackout game mode called Ambush that was accidentally revealed by our lesser seasoned programmers that were assigned to the Call of Duty companion app project instead of actually playing with the big boys here on the video game side of things, but is now live, which has constant circle collapse and only snipers, melee weapons, and launchers available for weaponry so that I could justify having Brawler still in the game as a perk. Additionally, in Blackout, a new Camo Progression system where you can collect paint cans around the map in order to unlock weapon camo variants like gold, diamond, and dark matter, since grinding for those items in multiplayer apparently wasn't enough to keep people invested in our game. I guess that's what happens when you ditch the hero outfit grind concept in Black Ops 3 for milking your player base out of COD points for playing dress up in an FPS. Of course, since I'm a math guy, I crunched the numbers and determined that 270 paint cans per gold weapon, or 1,620 to get all assault rifles diamond, or 8,910 of those things kids huff to get really high nowadays in order to unlock dark matter for all weapons. You're welcome for adding in more busy work to take up an inventory slot to unlock camos which were reflective of skill in multiplayer instead being reflective of RNG in Blackout. More on those camos that are exactly the same as in multiplayer yet somehow need a challenge to unlock them for other modes. For all platforms, not just the Sony ponies, these mastery camos will also be available in the zombies game mode, but similar to in multiplayer, you're gonna need to do those pesky headshot challenges to quote earn them again, but hey, at least zombies don't jump around like a House of Pain song like enemies usually do in multiplayer, so it'll be easier to split those wigs. Of course, we calculated, within an acceptable standard deviation to the mean, the increased number of headshots per tier given the easier difficulty with zombies. Additionally, there are new weapons being added to the mystery boxes on all zombies maps, and by new, I mean ones that are already currently available in other modes, Blackout multiplayer, with the MP40 and Galil, which for some reason is named Grav because gun naming rights are too rich for Activision to throw down money on, that they won't get back as part of their investment, as well as the Damon 3XB, SWAT RFT, and Cap 45. Oh, and of course, since this part of the game was clearly not ready for the 1 month earlier October launch date, the Zombies team has also been hard at work fixing a laundry list of bugs and crashes associated with multiple different maps of the game mode. Good luck following that Easter egg hunting guide now that we fixed some of the steps in it. On to Blackout, the only mode that the studio really cares about given the state of the other two modes. We had a look into my big black box of data for some tweaks. Armor across the board was nerfed by 15% for all levels for damage protection, and level 3 armor got additional nerfs in the form of removal of explosive damage resistance and melee weapon damage reduction, as well as increasing the armor plate requirement from 1 to 2 per level of wear, so hopefully this will prevent Battle Royale players from hearing the Dink Dink song from Spaceballs during their PTSD episodes. The Concussion Grenade was also nerfed with a reduced AoE, that's area of effect for people that don't speak acronyms like me, reduced throw distance and intensity of flash, as well as giving victims the ability to use equipment, perform melee attacks, and swap weapons instead of standing around like a guy waiting for his girl to finish getting ready to go out to eat. Not that I know what that feels like because I'm #forever alone. Lastly, the cluster grenades were also nerfed with an increased time to detonate and lower damage from the follow-up mini grenade explosions. Remember that this is for Blackout only because the cooldown already acts as a deterrent of these items being part of almost all engagements in multiplayer, even though getting concussed in 9-bang is still more annoying than hearing the sound of my voice. About multiplayer, it's mostly minor bug fixes at this point because we're actually going to be doing a weapon balance update in the 1.13 patch that's in the coming soon. soon, black hole. In lieu of actual meaningful change, we added in Blackjack's gun game to the featured playlist that adds the Cap 45 in the mix, even though gun game is a staple in Call of Duty, but for some reason, it's relegated to a limited time mode for our shell of a multiplayer experience this time around. Additionally, we added a Pro Series mosh pit to the featured playlist, which is basically the new CWL rule set for people that don't want to deal with the more annoying specialist characters, and as something to placate the competitive scene, because we then came out with a blog post about League play, which we talked about during the reveal, then was supposed to be completed by the end of January. However, considering it's now February, it doesn't take a math genius like me to figure out what's up here, and it won't be ready for the first week of the Call of Duty World League Pro League. Why do we have League in there twice? Oh, maybe it's because people are just used to seeing CWL and don't actually know what the acronym stands for. Anyways, the first week of the CWL Pro League begins on Monday, February the 4th. The World League Hub will be a new fourth option on the main menu on PS4 first, because exclusivity deals aren't just for DLC anymore, they're for core functionality. This hub will contain League play as the competitive wink wink only skill-based matching playlist that you've all come to know and thirst after the Black Ops 2 model, despite its flaws like too long 1-month intervals leading to inactive players and dead ladders, in spite of the fact that seasons of other actual competitive games last much longer than just a month, and very lengthy matchmaking times because people trying to show up their EP on a console FPS game with an inferior input device are actually few and far between. Originally, we were going to make it similar to the pro scene where there's weekend events with scrims during the week, but that would mean that the sole ranked mode would only have 3 days of actual ranked play, then 4 days of consequenceless gaming, or less than 50% of the time, which we weren't smart enough to realize that made no sense. So, to make it seem like we're actually listening to fan feedback when we put out a ridiculously bad idea in the first place, we're going to implement events throughout the week as well for people that don't want to make Call of Duty a second part-time job by working during the week and then gaming all weekend. Even though we'll be 5 out of the 12 months into the game's life cycle when League play initially drops, we're going to add World League gauntlets as well as team and clan support at an even later date after the game has been out already for over half a year, yet we somehow won Game Informer's best competitive multiplayer of 2018 without any esports features at launch at all. I wonder if that has something to do with all of those pre-launch exclusive interviews we gave them, because gaming journalism isn't at all just another extension of greedy publishers' marketing departments.